Hello, Eva, down in Cornwall.
And Natalie and Dave.
And Natalie and Dave. Your mummy asked us both to answer some questions about our childhood. So she's given us some questions to answer, and so we're going to go with that. So first off, she's asked us about our names. So I'm Nigel Henry Guest. I was born at 13 Richmond Road in Ealing in West London on the 7th of July 1955. Right, and what about you, Elaine?
My name is Elaine. It was Einon, and that's Eynon. That was my dad's name, and it's Welsh. And didn't have a middle name. My sister did. She was Janet Ann, but I didn't get one. And I was born at home in a flat in Mitcham in a place called Hertford Square. And it's in Pollard's Hill, but I don't think they're there anymore. I think they knocked them down. So,
okay.
Next.
Right, my parents. My father was Kenneth Britnell Guest. I don't know when he was born. I think probably about 1926. And my mother was Audrey Ethel Iris Calla, and she was born in 1930. And as you know, she's still alive today at 94 years old. My father, originally, before I knew anything about him, was in the Navy. He was a petty officer. And then he became a chef. And then later in his life, he became a surveyor. My mum sort of helped out in the restaurant. She was a telephonist in an office later on in life. And she also did some washing up in the restaurant where she met Pepe.
My parents were called Elsie Jackson. She didn't have a middle name. And my dad was Aubrey Harold Einon. My mum was born on the 24th of October 1924. And my dad was born on the 29th of July 1920. My dad was born in Newport in Wales, and my mum was born in Manchester in, is it Salford? What area was that? Is it Salford? Salford, yeah.
Near Manchester.
I've got we've both got, I think, birth certificates and things like that. Some information on our parents of their youth.
Mummy Natalie asked me, did we get on with our parents? My father left us when I was about 8 or 9, and I left my mum with 7 children under 18, and he's not a very popular person in our family, so we won't waste time talking about him. My mum, did I get on reasonably well? Well, we weren't fantastically close. It was difficult with so many other children to look after, but I was fed and I was happy enough. What about you?
Well, as you know, I was spoiled. What can I say? My sister hated me. She called me a bitch. But I got on well with my mum in as much as she would enjoy having me go shopping with her, and she'd teach me how to knit and all that sort of stuff. She had a foul temper, which I didn't like very much. I used to be quite frightened of her on occasions, but my dad was really soppy, and he never, I can't ever remember him telling me off. He did, on my mum's instructions to smack her, he did take a swipe at me once, but missed, because I ran up the stairs, and he hit the staircase like that and hurt his fingers. But yeah, I got on with my parents pretty well, really.
I have 5 sisters and 1 brother, so we have. I can't remember all their names, middle names. There's Suzette was the oldest, then Clive, then Julie, then me, then Paula, then Sarah, and then Jane. So I've got 3 older and 3 younger than me. Suzette was a hairdresser, Clive was a Royal Marine, Julie was a nurse, Paula done lots of jobs till after she worked in the police. Sarah worked in a union. She worked for Unison. and Jane is a bookkeeper. Right, but you, Elaine?
Got one sister, no brothers, and Janet, Anne, and she was older than me. She was born in 1947, same year as Suzette actually. She was born in 27th of November, and I think when I was little we got on quite well, but as we got older, I think I wasn't very nice to her really, but not that horrible, but we get on all right now. What else do I need to tell them?
No,
about
that's enough for now.
It.
I was born in Ealing, as I said, but I was 11 months old. I moved to Addington, south of Croydon, and I lived in this house. And I was there.
You should have held it longer.
Then I was there till when I was about 8. Then we moved to Sanderstead, and then we moved back to Forestdale, which strangely was the house where Mummy Natalie was born.
She was born, yeah. I grew up, I was born in Mitcham, and pretty soon, I think I was about 3 or 4, we moved to New Addington at number 2 Walsh Crescent, New Addington, and I stayed there until I left home when I was 19, and 19.
Right, that's the next section later on.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, I went to school in Addington, a place called Gilbert Scott School. I saw the Queen there when I was about 5 years old. And then later on, after my father moved us, we went to Ridgeway School in Sanderstead. Just briefly, about 1 month, my father tried to move us to Norfolk, and I went to a school in Horning there, where it was just 2 classes, where I've been used to big schools with lots of people. I didn't particularly like school, but I did like PE and sport and that sort of football. Those are the things that I remember that I liked.
I went to Fairchild's Secondary Modern, it was called then, I think. Then it was changed to Fairchild's High School. Or was it the other way around?
These are junior schools we're looking at here.
Oh, junior schools, right. Yeah, Fairchild's.
Yes.
Infants, juniors and seniors. I didn't progress.
Subject you liked when you were young?
I liked PE. I liked PE, and anything to do with drawing or painting. I hated maths. Yeah, that was all really. I hated most subjects, and I didn't do very well, apart from painting and drawing, and PE.
There were big classrooms, I don't know, probably about 25, 30 pupils per class.
Yeah.
When we were little, when we were 5, 6, 7, we all had a bottle of milk brought in every morning. So school children got a free drink of milk, about half a pint, I think it was.
Yeah.
Every day when at school.
And a straw.
And that went on till I was about 9 or 10. Yeah, so we got straw, and you could buy a rich tea biscuit, I think, for a penny or something like that.
We didn't get biscuits. We just got milk. We were forced to drink it, and it was warm.
I don't really remember my school friends particularly at that age, although I do remember one, Christopher Hill, and he was from quite a rich family. His father was the managing director of a building company called Mansell, and a couple of times we went out. I remember the British Grand Prix was held at Brands Hatch round about 1963, say, and we went to see the racing cars there, which was fantastic. And another time, first time I probably went to London, his father took me, Christopher, and his Christopher's brother to see A Wonderful Life in Technicolor at a cinema in London, and we went for a meal, which probably at a steakhouse, and I had steak. But I was very young, but I remember going to that.
Was it Angus steak?
It could have been. It could have been. Well, it's a long time ago.
Like where the G fell off?
Now, don't be rude. So Come on, what about you, Elaine? With the classrooms, school friends?
Yeah, I remember my school friends were the same in infants, and we went through to the junior school, and I had the same people in my class there. And it wasn't till I got to senior school that we all were separated. There was a boys' school and a girls' school, but in fact, I've got a list of people that I can remember the names of from my class in junior school. That I can probably remember about 20 names of kids. My best friend in the class in juniors was Geraldine O'Sullivan. And my mum was friends with her mum because they used to come and pick us up, walk round from Walsh Crescent. She used to walk round in her apron and a coat over the top, like the old days. And she used to come and collect me, and Geraldine's mum would be there, and they'd start talking, and so yeah, we knew each other for years.
My school was about 15 minutes walk away from home, but we all just went separately in those days. We no one got a lift to school in a car, and we just walked with each other, I think. But it was very much more relaxed than things are today. I don't know whether I was popular at school. I was quite happy at school. I had friends and played football, so it was a good time. Generally, looking back, I had free school dinners and played football.
Well, believe it or not, I was quite quiet at school. I don't think I stood out in the classroom. I probably sat in the middle, and that was sort of personality. I wasn't one of the naughty ones at the back, or I wasn't one of the bright ones at the front. The only time I wasn't quite popular at school was in the senior school when I got put in on sports day. They put me in everything, every high jump, long jump, throwing the javelin, everything.
That's getting older though.
Oh, right then.
Childhood late teens.
Yeah, so bossy. But yeah, that was the only time I was popular at school. I don't remember doing anything before then that I was applauded for.
When I was at Ridgeway School, when I was 10, I was in the school football team, and I scored 2 goals in a match against another team, another school. And the following morning in assembly, I had to stand up in front of the whole school and get an applause, a clap, which I must have gone very, very red about. So I didn't enjoy that at all.
So I don't ever remember having to stand up in assembly for things like that.
I don't remember getting into trouble at that age, particularly. Did you?
In trouble?
Yeah, no. We were good. We were all the same probably. We didn't have central heating in those days. We just probably had a coal fire in the house and maybe a cooker. We had a TV, but it only had 2 channels at that time, ITV and BBC One. And there was no television in the morning or even in the afternoons.
It was watched with mother.
That would have been the afternoons though,
yeah.
Wasn't it? And then there was, at night time, 10 or 11 o'clock when it closed down, they used to play the national anthem. But very little to watch in those days. Obviously there was no computers or anything like that in that time. So probably quite cold in there. You probably wore more clothes there than you do today. Had a telephone, but that was stuck to the wall. I remember driving, I had a pedal car and drove down the stairs in it all the way and didn't hurt myself, fortunately. So bedrooms, because we were 7 children and mother, we all had to share rooms, and I always had to share a room with my brother, and it would always be a small room. Generally, I think we had bunk beds. So carpets, it would have had wallpaper. I don't know if the whole house was fully carpeted. There'd been some carpet and mats. And then when I was at this house again, when I was about 8 or 9, my brother and I nearly died because they had a fire in that. We had a gas or oil fire, and it ran out of what oil or whatever it needed, and all the fumes gave off, and my brother and I nearly passed out. Fortunately, my sister Julie, for some reason, heard us coughing, woke us all up, and we were saved, luckily, and we're here today.
So what do I remember about the living room? It didn't have a fitted carpet. It had a black shiny floor, which was, what was it, asphalt? Asphalt, is it called?
That's what the roads are made of.
Well, it was asphalt. I'm sure it was something like that. And it was polished. It was brown and it was polished. She used to get on her hands and knees and polish all the edges. And it was about 18 inches, 2 foot. And then there was a carpet in the middle with some really uncomfortable furniture with wooden arms. And a sofa that was really itchy. And it had big springs in it. It was horrible.
If we wanted a drink when we were young, we probably only got water. Orange squash was a luxury which you couldn't have very often. For breakfast, we might have had cereal, sugar puffs. For lunch at school, and then tea would have been probably jam sandwiches. And that would have been it. We didn't have any Chinese food or Indian, but it's what we were used to.
Well, my dad used to go, because there was only 2 kids, it was easier for us. My dad used to, on a Sunday, go to the shop round the corner and he'd buy a bottle of Tizer and a bottle of cream soda every Sunday, and we would drink that probably throughout the day. And the cream soda, he used to like making up concoctions, my dad. He used to get a dollop of ice cream and pour cream soda over it. And it used to like split the ice cream. Yeah, fizzed. And it all split, but it tasted delicious. He used to like doing things like that. But yeah, and then we'd have 1 bottle of Robinson's orange squash. That lasted the week. And once that ran out, it was water. Didn't get anything else. No fizzy drinks. Don't think there were, not Coca-Cola or things like
Not
that
really,
then, was
no.
there?
I don't know when Corona came in.
No.
Yeah, well, I just played football with friends, and I like toy cars. I had lots of toy cars. I was very, very interested in cars when I was younger. But I don't remember whether life was fantastic or bad. It was just what it was, and I don't have any bad memories. Although I think my brother and my 2 older sisters do, but that's another story. All right then.
Oh, well, have I finished then?
Well, I think this is section 1, haven't we? Is there anything more you want to add?
Look, can you remember what your bedroom looked like?
I said I had bunk beds.
We had 2 single beds in 1 bedroom, and one of those old-fashioned dressing tables with 3 big drawers and a mirror in the middle, brown, shiny, varnished it was. And I don't know what I did. I must have hung my clothes up or put them away, because I was never in trouble for that. But my mum used to tell my sister off all the time, because she would take her clothes off and put them on the end of the bed. Never hung them up. So by the end of the week, she had a pile of clothes about this deep, and her feet used to slide under it, and she used to sleep like that all night. And I remember once, I don't know why I just remembered this, Janet got up, my parents went to bed, and then Janet suddenly got up, went in the loo, then she went in the bathroom, she was in there for ages, came back in, started doing her hair and putting her makeup on. And I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm getting ready for work. I said, well, it's 11 o'clock. We all laughed. She was really cross. So that's the first section.
Section 1 completed.
Yeah. So speak to you again soon.
Bye.